What's going on, everybody? You know, the best thing about the internet and the social media culture that's grown up around it is that it's given everyone a voice. Anyone with internet connection, smartphone, some social media presence, they have the capability to express their opinion about anything, and anyone who finds it can listen, agree, disagree, whatever. We've never had this type of exposure before to so many people. Now, one of the worst things about the internet is that it's given everyone a voice, and everyone has the ability, if they have a smartphone, internet connection, social media presence, can express their opinion about anything, and everyone gets subjected to it to agree and disagree or whatever. So what I'm building up to here is to talk about the concept of the internet bandwagon cause. Now, when I talk about this, I'm going to mention some example internet bandwagon causes, and I'm going to talk about those causes in the context of what I think of the internet bandwagon cause. So the focus is on the concept of the internet bandwagon cause, not what I'm saying about the example causes. Okay? Just to get that out of the way. So what is an internet bandwagon cause? Well, it's a lot like it sounds. Some issue, something bursts out of the scene, could have been out of the news, or something else, something mentioned by someone of some influence, celebrity, whatever, and it starts to catch fire, and more people start reacting to it on social media, across the internet, more news outlets pick it up, and it grows. It becomes huge. Somebody puts a clever hashtag on it, game over. Everybody knows all about it, and everybody has their opinion. Some recent examples that come to mind are the Confederate flag on the South Carolina State House grounds. Cecil the Lion is also a good example. And these things are perfect examples of the textbook bandwagon effect. People see the masses rallying behind something that may seem right and just, and they want to be a part of it. They see people doing it. They want to do it because it's the right thing to do. But there's a caveat to that. They all see this big thing happening. They all want to be a part of it. They want to be a part of what everyone else is doing that's right and good and just. And they want to be seen doing it. The best metaphor I can think of to illustrate this is, say, a child's music recital where the kid who's performing just sucks. He just can't string together two correct notes to save his life. Even his parents know it. They're sitting there with smiles but cringing at the same time. The whole place just knows this kid sucks. And when he's done, the parents stand up and start applauding, and then a couple other people start doing the same, because they're going to be polite, and then everybody sees more and more people standing up, and it's like, oh, hell, I can't be the one sitting here not applauding and actively saying this kid sucked. No. Everybody gets up and starts applauding, and before you know it, you got a full-blown standing ovation for the worst child music recital performance in recent memory. That's basically what the internet bandwagon cause concept is. In my opinion, it has more to do with seeking the approval of your internet peers rather than the issue itself, which in most cases was likely an issue that a good portion of people either didn't know about or had no opinion on until it got big. Say if someone like Katy Perry is browsing the trending hashtags on Twitter and happens to see a clever tweet about, what should happen to the guy that shot Cecil the Lion and retweets it, that person is likely to pick up a few thousand followers instantaneously simply because Katy Perry tweeted it. It must be big, right? And when that person tells their friends about it, they won't be talking about what they said about Cecil the Lion's killer. They're going to talk about all the new damn followers they just got. Like that. Some causes that were defunct, dead, long since dead and buried, they've had new life breathed into them because of the internet bandwagon. It's like changing the team name for the Washington Redskins or the aforementioned Confederate flag on the South Carolina State House grounds. Now the flag issue was actually settled 10 years ago in a legislative compromise, But the Charleston church shooting was the springboard to bring it back up. Now, I don't know how it was first brought up in connection with the shooting. I don't know if it was before or after the Facebook pictures of Dylan Roof holding the Confederate flag came out. I know the first time I heard the flag on the State House grounds mentioned in connection with the shooting in any kind of context, it was I was watching CNN. And Don Lemon was interviewing some local leaders and other people gathered outside the church. And on more than one occasion, he brought it up. He injected it into the conversation, stating that the flag was still flying on the State House grounds. Some people acted like they were like, really? Others were, asked if it was flying at half staff, and he gladly said no. It was after that point, just, usual social media browsing, that I saw it take off. I saw that issue blow up. The mass outcry that got behind the hashtag Take Down the Flag. And if you followed that at all, up until the point where the flag came down, you saw what the masses had to say about flag supporters. A lot of them were Twitter shamed, labeled as racist, and then they said they were bigoted, and some had their personal information doxxed, and it's all because they didn't agree and follow what the internet said they should. Mega corporations, Amazon, Walmart, and whatnot, corporations that, in the eyes of most consumers, we know that they really don't care about the consumer. Oh, but they cared about it now. They started pulling Confederate flag merchandise. Dukes of Hazzard reruns have been pulled from the air. Golfer Bubba Watson, who owns one of the original General Lee Dodge Chargers, said he was going to have the Confederate flag removed from the roof of the car. And I promise you that all of that has a lot more to do with the bad internet publicity that would come from not doing it than it does from actually supporting the cause of removing the flag from the State House grounds. Take Cecil the Lion, for example. If you didn't want to see that dentist extradited to Zimbabwe, set loose in the wild, then hunted down, killed, and mounted as a trophy himself, then you're some insensitive asshole that thinks killing is fun and you yourself should be hunted. Even if Walter Palmer is exonerated of illegal hunting by the legal process, meaning that he participated in a legal hunt, and so far as he knew, everything was on the up and up, and participating in a hunt that would have been sanctioned by the Zimbabwean government because they collect some of that money for conservation purposes, and the wrongdoing was the responsibility of one of his guides or someone else running the hunt, it doesn't matter because his life is already ruined by the internet bandwagon reacting to an event. And it's really sad to think that the internet has given rise to a sheep-like mentality exponentially larger and far worse than any time I can think of. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, what do we do about it? I'll be honest, I don't have a good answer. I would say that we should stop actively looking to the internet for acceptance and start thinking for ourselves, but that's cliche as hell, and nobody's going to listen to that shit. But I mean, am I the only one that sees this happening? Do you agree, disagree? Let me know in the comments down below. And, thanks for watching. I'm JR, and I'm out.